For over 100 years, Paccar trucks have been an industry leader in quality and innovation. The company began in Bellevue producing railcars, but has since moved into truck manufacturing and is the largest truck manufacturer in the United States. Domestically, Paccar produces Kenworth and Peterbilt trucks, and in 1996, the company purchased the European brand DAF, which allowed it to expand beyond North America and into the global market. Now a Fortune 500 company, Paccar has been profitable even through the recession, and has paid dividends to its stockholders for the past 72 years. Driven by innovation and customer trust, Paccar has expanded into Australia, Europe, Canada, Mexico, China, and most recently, South America. Paccar has recognized that it needs to have a presence in South America to challenge competitors that are already there, and while the company has decided that it will be moving into Brazil, it has not yet determined some of the finer details of the project, nor which state it wants to locate in. We will look more closely into the company's expansion of DAF trucks in Brazil and the great potential associated with the emerging markets in South America.
Vice President Richard Bangert leads real estate, environmental regulations, and construction sectors and has been deeply involved in the expansion and organization of Paccar's operations in Brazil. His global experience in the places such as Moscow, Mexico, and Shanghai giving him immense understanding of the global market, and he has spent more than 2 years analyzing the economic, social climate, and political structure of Brazil.
And the first thing you got to realize is that this is where you go is home to a lot of people, and they have a culture, they have a way of life, they have different rules, and you got to understand that. You can't go in like, remember there was a movie once called The Ugly American, and this was about a U.S. person in Europe, and how he was an ugly American, because Americans were ugly, they did things differently. Well, you don't want to create that image, that's for darn sure. So one of the first things you want to do is understand, where you're moving.
Currently, Brazil is the 5th largest country in the world and has the 7th largest economy, with a nominal GDP of over $2 trillion. The country has slowly been shifting toward an industrial economy from an agrarian base. The industrial sector accounts for 29% of GDP, while agriculture, logging, and forestry account for 5.5%. These industries are transportation heavy, and with a rapidly vanishing rail system, much of the economy revolves around efficient highway transportation. Brazil conveniently shares borders with all but 2 South American countries, and is also a part of Mercosur.
They require 60% of the product by weight and by value to be manufactured in country. And if it's not, then they have certain financing capabilities within the countries to help people buy products. If you're not a qualified product, in other words 60% local content, you'll probably pay 2 or 3 points more. I don't mean basis points, I mean a full point for financing. So if we're not a qualified product, our product is going to be very expensive compared to our competitors. So that's a big deal. We're not, the only thing we're going to import, literally, is the engine.
Brazil itself is composed of 26 autonomous states, and while the provinces are regulated by the federal government regarding criminal and civil law, these states have their own separate and complex tax laws.
Moving products, it's not like the United States where you drive from Washington to Oregon to California and you just basically, oh, I'm over the border. That was what we were concerned about when we located in Santiago, because Santiago is pretty far south. Mm-hmm. And then you go north and you want to go into Peru or you want to go up into Ecuador and so forth. How hard is it going to be to move the product through these various countries?
While Brazil has a hard-working and dedicated workforce as a whole, Paccar hopes to attract educated employees and is therefore basing much of its plant location decision on the location of universities. Sao Paulo, Minas Gerais, and Rio Grande do Sul have the best universities, but Sao Paulo has problematic weather which could slow construction as well as a saturated market, and Minas Gerais is fairly underdeveloped and poor at this point. Taking this into account, we suggest that Paccar move into Rio Grande do Sul, which not only borders trading partners Argentina and Uruguay, but only houses one of Paccar's competitors, Navistar.
So you don't necessarily want to be near a competitor. The workforce is, if it's tough to get qualified people, then you get into this bidding contest, and you get a very unstable workforce, and you want to get good people, treat them fair, and keep them. That's the best employee.
Trucks are needed for agricultural and livestock industries, and the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul has engineering and MBA programs ranking among the best on the continent. Ranked 4th out of 26 on the Human Development Index, Rio Grande do Sul offers marketing opportunities combined with exceptional human capital.
Of all the considerations of the expansion into Brazil, the issue of varied tax laws between states is quite possibly the largest. For this reason, Brazil has been criticized for overcomplicating the process of paying taxes.
We think our tax system is a little goofy. You've got 27 states, you've got municipalities, and you've got cities, and then you've got the federal government. And there's no uniform tax code in Brazil. There are uniform taxes, but there's not a uniform way that they are necessarily applied. And so one of the issues that we're dealing with right now, because we haven't picked our site and we haven't picked our state, is where can we be the most competitive truck builder with our product? And there's logistics involved, there's taxes involved, there's, we're really big on having plants near universities. Mm-hmm. That's very important, because, getting good people that are trained, not just, I'm not talking about just MBA students, I'm talking about people that actually work in the plant, And if you look at every one of our facilities around the world, usually there'll be a university within a very short distance of.
Additionally, Paccar must fight to surpass numerous competitors that are already in Brazil. Its largest American competitor, Caterpillar, has recently started a joint venture with Navistar to target the cab-over-truck market. The largest obstacles will be European companies, such as Daimler and Volvo, Volvo being the best-selling heavy truck in Brazil.
Despite these drawbacks, we still firmly believe that Paccar can create a successful greenfield venture in Brazil. The country plans to reduce the manufacturing product tax by 30%, decrease both taxes down the product chain and payroll taxes, and invest billions in cargo transportation fleets, which should substantially increase market efficiency and provide additional demand for trucks. The country is oil self-sufficient and is beginning to invest substantially in green energy, which suits Paccar DOF hybrid trucks and other green engines that recently earned the Enhanced Environmental Vehicle distinction due to low soot particle emissions. Paccar has strong finances that are ready to support the financing of this project. With increased sales forecasts in North America and Europe, now is a perfect time for Paccar to invest in Brazil operations.